Guys, what do you see on the table in front of you? Well, I am handling what I think is possibly the worst button lock knife I have ever seen. So let's turn around and take a look at it from above because I like to torture myself. Guys, like I said in the intro, this is the benchmade shori, and this is possibly not just the worst button lock I've seen, probably the worst benchmade I've seen. And I do this because I saw this at my buddy Tino's house and I decided we needed to look at this. So this is a first production run, and yes, I am two-handed opening this. It's number 605 of 1,000. This is the benchmade shori Nakamura design. Now, it's a very good looking knife, very attractive, nice blade shape and everything. But we're going to get into a lot of really bad stuff. And I first want to apologize for the audio on some of my other videos. I had a microphone that I was using for filming. It came highly recommended and it did nothing but ruin videos. I literally had to trash more videos than I could keep. So we're back to not using the microphone. So hopefully the audio is better. But like I said on this knife, this has got everything that you could do wrong on a knife done wrong. So just to give you some size comparison, we're only gonna do one. We'll grab two. Let me grab my a good benchmade, the benchmade 940. So you can see this is a little knife, and like I say, every time I look at this, it's an attractive knife. I just can't get past the things that are wrong with it. It's horrible. So your last knife, because we're only doing two, is the CrazySharp large 21. So you can see, like I said, not a very large knife. Let's get this out of here because I don't want to contaminate my good knives with this. All right, let's start off and take a look at this because I think this could have been a really good knife. It has a lot going for it. You absolutely do have to two-hand open this. So you do have a very attractive, well-shaped blade that does come down to a fairly thin behind the edge profile and a nicely shaped handle for a small knife like this. And that's it. I mean, that's as far as it goes. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. Well, I guess you do have some attractiveness on the spine where you've got what looks like file work, but it's just milling. And then it has some attractive scales. This thing has got a button lock that's very similar to the Spyderco compression lock. Now, that would be good if it wasn't for the fact that you have to tighten the pivot down so hard that you literally have to muscle it home, and still it favors that side so strongly. Now, you're gonna see something here. See how that blade is dull on the front? Well, that's because if you loosen this up at all, it kicks over even further. You can see it. So that's a little bit looser. It kicks over even further and it winds up hitting the scale. But the other thing too is that's a little bit freer action. You still kind of have to two-hand it. Yeah, you absolutely have to two-hand it. That's painful. You have to two-hand it because the thumb stud that is on it is just ridiculous. It is super close, super sharp, and it hurts even my thumbs. And the fact is it's still stiff, but just that little quarter turn, horrible blade play in this. Then let's talk about the button that's on it. See how thin that button is? There's a lot of tension on that. Look at that. Look at my thumb. Little circular bruised area almost on that. And still, you got to really push on it to deploy it. Then, like I said, horrible blade play. And then, like, I'm not letting it hit the scale. I don't want to damage it anymore. But you can see it's even closer than it was. So when you loosen that up, let's tighten this back up so we don't have to damage that knife anymore. And that was just quarter of a turn, and now it is super stiff. And there's still a little bit of play in that. Next thing we got going on. They used a clamshell on this, obviously for this interior part here. That is, well, I don't know. I really don't understand what they did here, but there's a lanyard hole on the back of that that's just ridiculous. This whole knife is just pretty ridiculous in my opinion. I've always been the person to say, do not buy first production runs. Now, some people say, well, maybe it's because the blade is ground wrong that you're having that issue and you have to tighten it up so much. The blade is not ground incorrectly. I have been checking it against the spine So your spine is straight in the grind. Your spine is straight in the grind. There's no bowed areas. There's nothing pushing on my ruler. That's 100% from there where it's nice and straight like that. Something in the pivot is off. And I think that's why it's so stiff. Absolutely now over on that side again. Now that is horribly off center. Now, typically you could correct that if you had a double-sided pivot. You loosen one side, tighten the other, tighten one side, loosen the other. It's an easy fix, but you can't do that on this because it's a single-sided pivot. And then, like I said, this button lock on this is just horrific. Now, these, I guarantee, were not cheap. Benchmade knives have never been cheap. I just think that they've gone off the deep end with their pricing now. But the other thing I've got a question about, why is there jimping on that? That's down inside. Why is there jimping on that? It doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever to have jimping in there. So just another time that Benchmade just absolutely missed the boat. I was going to say something else, but it involved cursing and swearing. I will say that they did do, this is kind of cool. This is something that they came up with a while back. This is a stop pin that is octagonal, and you can shift it to different faces and move it so that you can get rid of blade play. Or lock rock, I should say. It has lock rock, and I've played with it trying to rotate that, and it's everything about it. By the time you get rid of blade play on it this way, pivot blade play, left and right, it's so tight that you can't even manipulate it with one hand. Then it's still touching the scale. I've rotated this once, twice, played with it, and it's just, there's nothing good really about this knife. But it could have been so good had they just QA'd it. So first production runs, I've never been a fan of first production runs. I think it's kind of a money grab. They can offer a first production run at a higher price than the normal rest of their knives. And I'm just going to tell you, they're always of lesser quality. I've never seen really a first production run that came out good from most companies. I'm sure that there's some out there. I've never seen a good first production run Benchmade. There's always something horribly wrong with them. So not a real long video, guys. I just wanted to show that to you. I'll put up a spec sheet, a price sheet of what they're going for or what they went for if I can find it. If not, it's just gonna be blank screen. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, send you out about your day. So there you go, guys. That was the Benchmade Shori. And the thing I forgot to mention, the thumb stud on this, I touched on it. You guys have no idea how bad it is. Like, it should have had a nail nick. It didn't need that thumb stud. That thumb stud is awful. And I've always said it. I said it for years. I see people do it. Don't jump on those first production runs. They're never good. I've never seen a good one, with the exception of like super high-end companies, you know, like custom companies or companies that are doing it well and above, like maybe something that's coming out from Grant and Gavin Hawk, like their first run of a knife. But for most production companies, first production runs are horrible. So that's it on this one, guys. It was fun. I was at my buddy Tino's house to pick up a couple knives I wanted for a short, and I saw this and I was like, I gotta talk about this. So if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the content, give it a thumbs down, but tell me why I can't change it if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe. Drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications set to all, and make sure that you've got notifications turned on in your device, or you won't get notified of everything I do and get to see my beautiful face. Likes are the best thing anybody can do for any channel. They help push the channel up the algorithm. They show YouTube you find value in the content. If you're watching videos and you haven't dropped a like, go back and go through your history and like the videos that you've watched. Content creators put a lot of work into it. It's just something that absolutely helps us out. If you want to support the channel financially, ton of affiliate links down below. Coffee Brand Coffee, Doll Strong Knives, bunch of affiliate links on Amazon. The Amazon stuff, if you're going to do some shopping on Amazon, please use one of my affiliate links. Even if you're not buying the stuff I have listed, it's just a door to my affiliate store. Coffee Brand Coffee, has got a 5% discount on some of the best coffee out there. And Doll Strong Knives has got some killer kitchen knives that have started coming out. They've got some really cool stuff. They're about to send me something we're gonna use in a video before too long, and it's gonna be something that's gonna stay here and we're gonna use a lot. Other way you can do it, I have a membership down below. It's all tier-based. Everyone has access to the Gilded server. Baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered into giveaways. I do on a Gilded server, and the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube behind that paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. It helps me keep the channel moderated a little bit better, and it makes sure that your comments get seen by everyone. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.